Thank you for joining the Reverend Dr. Sean Michael Greener, radio host, national pastor, author, and speaker for Sundays with Dr. Sean. Hold on tight. Here comes the truth.
How's everybody doing? Good to see you. Hope everybody's well. The Bible Summary for Real People. NOTFlix. Season 1, Episode 26. It's my other book. Excellence Killed the Church, How Mediocrity is Destroying America. This is a pretty controversial book. This book, The Bible Summary for Real People, less so. Not as controversial, but that's okay. I have a couple things to talk about today. One is Habakkuk and maybe Zephaniah, we'll see. But the first thing I'm going to talk about is, by the way, I'm not afraid of politics. This is the collision of faith and politics. That's a little too big. You don't want to see that close. Well, there we go. Sorry about the squeaky chair. I got to earl it. Hey, Jeanette. Hey, Mackinac Lilac. How are you doing? Good to see you. And I want to say to all of my Gold Star families out there, you guys know I do a lot of work with Gold Star families. Produced a book and a 3-day seminar workshop called Living Through Grief on Purpose. It's free to any Gold Star family to help them with that. Obviously, I'm a veteran. Hey, Jerry, good to see you. I'm a veteran, and I love my fellow vets and my current active duty warfighters, but the Gold Stars have a special, special place in my heart, and this is a special weekend for them. And we are remembering Memorial Day. We are memorializing those that gave all. And when I go to Arlington, Virginia, and I go walk the rows of heroes, many of them I know and I care about, have known a long time. So I'm visiting old friends. So I want to remind you what it's about. I don't think any of my buddies who are there, laid to rest there and in other veteran seminaries around the United States, I don't think any of them would begrudge you having a burger, having a dog, laughing, enjoying Section 60 is 100%. That's where I go. Section 60 every time. And I leave some currency and some other little things on some stones there. And I just don't think they would have a problem with you enjoying yourself. I don't most of the ones I know would love it if you had a blast on Memorial Day. But remember their sacrifice. Remember how we get our freedom. It's bought with blood of great men and women who gave all. That's what this weekend is about. It is not about veterans. It's not about, thank you for your service, although we appreciate that. It is wholly and completely all about those that gave all. And you want to remember the families. You think about how hard it is to have a picnic or something when you know that the reason for the holiday is because you're one of the people who lost a son, a daughter, a husband, a father, a wife, a mother, a sister. I have a good buddy of mine lost his daughter, 18 years old, just out of high school. She'd been in country 10 days. Sam Huff. And she was beautiful and talented and amazing. And she lost her life 10 days in country. So it's difficult. It's a huge challenge. But I have good friends, Karen Vaughn and Debbie Lee and several others that they, LLTB, that's right, long live the brotherhood, that they know what it's like. And I suspect Mackinac Lilac, you know what this is about too. First-hand experience. And Debbie Lee and Karen Vaughn, they always always talk about their faith and how their faith helps them to get through. So this is for you. You guys know my most circulated photograph. Of course, I do photography. My most circulated photograph that I've ever done is the photograph captured one year I took Karen Vaughn to see to Arlington, to Aaron's grave, and Billy was, I think, in another state doing an interview or something, and so I took her there, and we were at the grave of Aaron Carson Vaughn and her son and Billy's son, and I just clicked a picture. It was strange. I'll have to include it here. I'll include it on the comment section. And that picture has been shared now, I just checked before, right around 6 million times. That's crazy. But it was just a moment. Not planned, not set up, nothing. Just a moment. So to all my Gold Star families out there, God bless you. God keep you. We're praying for you. We thank you for raising heroes. The flag waves on the last breath of heroes, for sure. So we really want to appreciate that. I have someone who I want you guys to think about. Charlie Fellon busted his head open, a friend, and had to get some staples in his head, but seems like he's all right today. And thank you for your prayers for my sister. She's good and came out better than we anticipated. So thank you for all that. So this book I wrote this book, The Bible Summary for Real People, because I was reading the Bible the 34th, and based on my illness, probably the last time. Although I'm reading through again, and I'm making hay while the sun shines. And it's interesting that we're in this time that we're in. We're in this time that we're in, and those freedoms, it is no small irony to me. Those freedoms that those heroes fought and died for and lost arms and legs and eyesight and were burned, and all of these great sacrifices that they gave that none of us really can appreciate or understand. That all this is going on with the COVID-19 mess. And I have to tell you, I don't know where you stand. I know where I stand. I think a lot of it is a scam. I know the illness is real. I know all that, the numbers and blah, blah, blah. But I got to tell you, there's some crazy business going on. And I think it's going to backfire on the people that are pushing the agenda of stay home, stay home, stay home till at least the day after Election Day. Wink, wink. If you wink twice, I don't think you're supposed to say wink, wink, by the way. I don't know. That's just a lesson for myself. I'll have to look that up. A little redundant. If you say wink, wink, you know what I mean? That's a little redundant. The glasses are dirty. I can't seem to get anything off of. My buddy Jim and Joy, they took myself and Colleen out on their boat yesterday. Woo! That was fun. So fun. But Joy said, think we ought to be heading back. I think Joy said. And I said to Jim, I'm getting alerts on my phone here about a storm. So we headed back, and boy, we got back just in time. I'll attach those pictures in the video of that. It's pretty cool. Wow, the storm front. They have some storms here in North Carolina. President Trump came out yesterday. You could tell he was mad. He came out yesterday and he said, look, we're opening up the churches. As of today, I've directed the CDC issue guidelines for opening the churches, but they're opening today, right now. And if you have a problem with it, you're welcome to call me, but that call won't go well. I'm telling you, I was in the car. Colleen was driving, so I could have hooted and hollered. I may have hooted and hollered. I did pump some fists, and I said, how do you not love number 45? Number 45. How do you not love that dude? He just got out in front of him, said his business, and then walked off like a boss. And then Kaylee McInerney, let me tell you what. Kaylee is a little tiny girl. She's small. She's petite. She's a genius, literally. Brilliant, brilliant woman. Highly educated, Oxford educated, and, just brilliant, brilliant human being. She's just so amazing. Her mental acuity, woo, off the charts. And those reporters thought they were just going to run roughshod over her. Oh, look at this cute little blonde. We're going to run roughshod right over you, girl. Aren't you cute and special? And old Kaylee McInerney went, Rawr! Backed them off with a smile. She issued some challenges to the reporters. Maybe they should learn to investigate. Maybe they should go journalize. Do some journalism. She bumped him right back. I was so proud of the president, so proud of her, Kaylee McInerney, because, come on. They're just kicking butt and taking names, make the press look stupid, just stupid and feckless. But they are stupid and they are feckless. They got a bunch of degrees that don't mean anything, Anyway. So I looked at the whole idea of freedom and liberty and what has been sacrificed. You say, well, church people, they ought to know better. They don't not go. I'm a church person, Reverend Dr. Sean Michael Greener. I mean, I'm a little bit of a church guy. But I'm more of a faith guy than anything else. But I don't need church to have church. I don't need a building, any of that stuff, but I love it. Scotts Hill Baptist Church in, I think it's Hampstead, still Hampstead address, might be Wilmington, but Scotts Hill Baptist Church, that way just a little bit. Awesome church, my favorite church, I tell you, I just love it. And what's interesting is Pastor Phil is awesome. I think 7 other pastors in addition to him, 7 or 8 other pastors. And it's just a well-run, well-led church. And so we're going back. We just got the announcement. We're going to be back in person in 2 weeks. I'm looking forward to it. It's a big church, so there's a lot they got to do. Anyhow, but the president, like a boss, came out yesterday, and he said, we're going to get it done. We're opening that up. If you don't like it, you can lump it. And I like how he just... If this mic didn't cost so much money, good lands, I would drop it. I'm telling you, I loved it. So proud. And I thought about everybody, not just in Section 60. And if you know Section 60, then you may have some family there and some good brothers and sisters there. And I think about every time I go to Section 60 and leave some currency and leave some Red Bulls, and I leave some Swedish fish and some other items I cannot mention. I think those boys would be hooting and those girls would be going, hoo-yah! Hoo-yah, Mr. President, hoo-yah. See, we weren't built. This nation, the freedom we have, we weren't in retreat. We didn't get all this because some folks before us retreated and curled up in a corner, clutching their pearls. Oh, we might get sick. Good lands, I have forgot my microphone. You believe that? Hey, I know the sound quality is probably subpar, so I'm going to take a second here, plug this sucker in, because I don't want the rest of the broadcast to suck. That would be horrible. Draw air. That's how you say it kindly in the South. Ooh, that would draw air. Which means suck. Somebody told me one time, I can't believe you're a pastor and you say something like, ooh, that sucks. Good lands, there's some soft folks out there. Haven't always been a pastor. Can't be soft your whole life. Let's go this way here with it. Let's see what we can get here. See if this works. Here we go. Got a little sound. I hope that's better. Good land. Sorry about that, folks. I done forgot. Anyway, I thought about all those folks in Section 60 that, fight, get in there, get after it, war fighters, people that support the war fighters of all kinds. Special operations community. I have a lot of friends that are agency friends and associates, and they lost their lives. And there's a lot of people giving an awful lot. And I bet they were hooting and hollering yesterday, even if they weren't church folk. I'm a church guy, like I said, but freedom of religion. People like to say separation of church and state. And they think that, hey, Josh, how you doing, brother? That's a good dude right there. People like to say freedom of religion, but that doesn't, the separation of church and state says that you can't bring your church stuff around here. You can't do, no. You need to know history. And history is Thomas Jefferson, he was asked, are you going to first force the Church of Danbury Baptist Association? Sent him a letter, said, are you going to force the Church of England on us? Because we don't want that. And he alluded to the separation. No. It's going to be separate. The church and the state's going to be separate. We're not going to force on you anything. We can't take away any of your religious freedoms. That's what separation of church and state is. But the church has stood for a long time as a beacon of hope and a beacon of freedom and liberty. And for the churches to be shut down so long, I'm not going to get into, my thoughts on some of that. I understand some of it had to be done initially. Remember, we did this 2-week thing. We're going to flatten the curve. 2 weeks became 6 and 7. Insane. That's not how we win. You know what's funny to me? That might be funny to you too. I don't know. But a lot of those real smart folks behind the president, a lot of those talking heads on the news stations, talking about laughing at the president. You can't get the hospital ship Mercy or Comfort. I think Comfort was the one there. You can't get that in New York Harbor in 3 weeks' time, or you can't do it in 3 months' time. How many days later? Coming down the Hudson, y'all. Here we come. Now, we heard all that talk about how, oh my goodness, we're running out of hospital beds and we're being overrun and all this stuff. And meanwhile, what is it, 27 people total on the hospital ship? Stupid. There's a lot of people talking a lot of smack. Didn't happen. Going to be a lot of answering to be done. A lot of people, blue states, blue cities, you folks going to have a lot of answering to do, because this president doesn't forget. He represents the American people. He's our president. Not the world president, he's our president. And you mess with his people? That's why they want him out of there so bad. You know they do. They want him out of there. They want President Trump out of that office so bad. Because they know what's coming. Go ahead and get him back in there in November. Whew. God help you, folks. God help you. There'll be no place to hide. Going to be a lot of folks suiciding themselves. I don't know. People in high places too. Don't think for a second it's going to be, well, I won again. Bygones. They're not going to happen. So today we're in Habakkuk. Now that is funny, isn't it? It's a funny name. Habakkuk. We're pretty sure that Habakkuk is the author of it. Go Navy, beat Army. Nah, I love Army. I love all my Army. Marine friends, my Coasties. People don't mention Coast Guard enough. The Coasties. There's some pretty awesome people right there. Coast Guard's tough, man. They got a tough assignment. But they do it well. And I don't think they get enough credit. But the Air Force folks, I'm trying to think. I have a couple of friends, actually, Air Force buddies that I go visit. I never really thought of them as Air Force because they, Awesome people, though. PJs. Awesome. Awesome. They come when nobody else will come. That helicopter comes flying in. PJs with their ARs. Woo. Shooting going on. They go in and they get the wounded. It's brave, man. Brave. They fight their way in, fight their way out. Unreal. It's awesome. Anyway, Habakkuk was written possibly between 609 and 597 BC. There's only 3 chapters. Look, I told you with these other books. I told you with all these. You got, Micah had 7 chapters. Pfft, nothing. You can do that in your sleep. Nahum had 3 chapters. You don't even have to fall asleep to do that. You barely could fall asleep in the time that... You can't fall asleep trying to read 1 chapter or 3 chapters. And then Jonah. Only 4 chapters. There's only 4 chapters. And Obadiah, which is a cool name. I mentioned that in my broadcast about 155,000 times. 1 chapter. I can't read the Bible. It's too hard. It's too long. Come on now. Break it up in little bits. Break it up in little bits. Some of these are short. Come on now. There's only 3 in this one. To whom was it written? Judah and God's people asking difficult life questions. Isn't that timely? Ready for this? What was the purpose of the writing? To remind Habakkuk and those listening to him that God is the one true God who is in complete control and can be completely trusted. Let me read this again to you slow. To remind Habakkuk and those listening to him that God is the one true God who is in complete control and can be completely trusted. For such a time as this, let me tell you that right now. For such a time as this. Now, I want to say this real quick before I move too far on. Difficult life questions. Life is tough. I'm terminally ill. I know life is tough. Life is tough for a lot of people. I have a lot of friends who struggle. We were on the boat last night with my friend's boat where we almost got deluged, but perfect timing. Great timing, Jim. I got to say that again. Good timing, brother. Got back right in there and took a picture. My camera's in the shop, so I just used my iPhone, but hopefully you'll get the picture. Get it? That's a little joke there, a little photographer joke. Get the picture. Anyhow, Joy just had dealt with cancer. They changed their whole life around. They changed everything around. And she's, as far as I know, cancer-free. And I've got other friends, Wendy, cancer, and Peggy, cancer, and all kinds of other things. Some people dealing with COVID-19 and other stuff. Losing jobs, businesses shutting down, government saying you can't go do your thing because they don't trust you to have a brain. All these medical people. I'm going to say this real quick. Now, this is not, maybe it's related. All those people, I started to say this before, dadgummit, I forgot. All these people behind the president, all these degrees and all these MD, this, that, and the other, and all those people, everybody said, we need to listen to Fauci. We need to listen to Birx. We need to listen to Redfield. The left and the weak-kneed people on the right. Well, the president is stupid for telling people he's taking hydrochloroquine and all this other stuff, and telling people to put Lysol into their veins and put light into their veins and put Lysol and disinfectant in their lungs. He's stupid. He shouldn't even be the president. They beat all I ever saw. I got to tell you, they beat all I ever saw. Turns out ozone therapy, been around for years. Turns out UV light therapy, intravenous, been around for years. Turns out there's all kinds of disinfectants that are injected in the veins during bronchoscopies. I should know. I had one. I had 4. They suck. But that's what they do. They clear you out with this stuff, and it's referred to as a disinfectant. Turns out he was right. Everybody said, oh, no, you can't get that ship down that, can't get that hospital ship ready in time. It'll be months and months down the road. Boom, there it goes. Said, oh, no, you can't make respirators. We're out of respirators. They thought they had this dude. The left thought they had this dude. Everything they throw at him, they thought, oh, he ain't coming out of this one. Hey, Ford, can you make, what do you all think about making, you make some pretty advanced automobiles. What do you think about making respirators? I'm told by all these people with their white coats and all that we need a bunch of those. How do you feel about making some of those? I mean, we'll pay you. Okay, yeah, we can do it. Hey, let's get GM and Remington and 3M and Westinghouse and all these other places. Hey, can you do? They made it. They did it. They did it. Said it couldn't be done. Well, we don't have enough PPE. We don't have enough PPE. President doesn't have enough PPE. President makes some calls. Here we go. Billions of PPE. They think they got him every time. He outsmarts them and out leaderships them every single time. I wish they'd just go, you know what? We're beat. We're just beat. We thought he would suck and he didn't suck. He's awesome. Dadgummit. Oh well. But they don't, because that's not what they do. But life is hard. There's a lot of people. I see it all the time around here. Some of our favorite restaurants are saying, I don't think we're going to be able to come back. There's restaurants been around for 30 years that people said, we can't come back. We've lost too much. My heart breaks for them. My heart breaks for them. Businesses, small businesses, medium-sized businesses. My heart breaks for them. By the way, how are we going to... We can't go to church, but we can go to Lowe's and Home Depot. Let's have church at Lowe's and Home Depot. Apparently there's something special about that place where we can't get COVID-19 in that place. I'll tell you right now, they better quit with all this mask bull. This mask bull, come on. Masks don't work. They don't work. Don't go out and buy a bunch of masks. Well, we told you that because, well, see, we didn't want to run on masks. Well, you have to social distance. If masks and social distancing work, why do we let people out of prison? Somebody tell me that. Well, we letting them out of prison. Give them a mask. Keep them 6 feet apart. They're in different cells. Well, the prisons are crowded. Well, they should stop committing crimes. Anyway, I got to get on this. You got stuff to do. Wrestling with God is a low profit activity. Now, when I wrote this the first time, I'm going to be honest with you, I laughed out loud. Wrestling with God is a low profit activity. There's a thing when you shoot somebody. I'm not saying I know this from experience, but I'm just saying. When you shoot somebody, they take the room temperature challenge. Right? High velocity lead injection. Then they take the room temperature challenge. You get that, right? They go to room temperature. Well, wrestling with God, equally, even more so, low profit activity. It has been said that our arms are too short to box with God. Been said about 1 million times. Ultimately, Habakkuk said what most of us are too afraid to say when something terrible happens. How could you do this, God? How long will you let this go on? Why did you let this happen? The book of Habakkuk was intended for the eyes of Israel because the godly peoples wandering when the oppression, wickedness in Judah was happening to them, and there seemed to be no help from God. God seemed silent until he enacted evil Babylon in his plan to punish Judah. God answered, and yet the Israelites could not understand why God would use an evil people to punish Judah. That's understandable, but in the end, God uses whatever he wants to effect his will. God's sovereign. God is sovereign, folks. I talked about it in yesterday's broadcast. God is sovereign. God would punish the Babylonians in his time, in his way. I'm often impatient as to God's will being done. More often than not, I am the benefactor of his delay. Now, I had to take a pause when I wrote that. Look, remember Peter? Kepha is his real name, but folks call him Peter. Remember in Garden of Gethsemane, he cut the fella. He won't cut his ear off. I'll cut him. He was ready to fight. He was always ready to call down fire. Should I call down fire? Should it? What do you want me to do? He was always ready to enact God's vengeance for God. I like that. Ready to lock and load. I like that. He was cool. I think Peter was cool. I would hang out with Peter. Anyway, that doesn't have anything to do with anything. But more often than not, I am the benefactor of his delay. Yeah, I want to hurry. I don't know about you. Whoo, man, Lord, let me just go ahead and vengeance on this mug. Let me just go on and get out there and issue some vengeance, some regulation. Let me regulate on somebody, And then when it comes to our stuff, right? Slow down, Lord. Oh, please don't punish me just yet. I'm always the benefactor of his delay. His grace and mercy envelops me despite my deserving punishment. The trick is, as is revealed in this book of the Bible, is to be patient and know that he is God. And he will take care of things in his way, in his time. The real trick is, and this is the hard part, ain't nothing easy about this. The real trick is while we're waiting, we should be worshiping. We should be worshiping while we wait. Worshiping him. If you're feeling oppressed, be obedient. God will take care of you in his way and in his time. I'm going to stop there because I rambled on too long. We're at 32 minutes. I don't want to wear you people out. You'll never... Oh, yeah. Let's show that to you. That's one of the photographs I took. We sell our work all over the world. That is Surf City, North Carolina. I don't know if you can even see that. It's probably hard to see. Anyhow. When we stick together, and we focus on where we can agree, we say, look, we're not 100% in this area, not 100% in this area over here, but we can agree over in this area. When we are in that spot, when we're in that place where we can say, on these things, we can agree. On this thing over here, don't agree so well. But on the majority of it, we agree. We can support one another. We can lift each other up. We can encourage one another. Look, I'm going to tell you something. I tend to be an encourager. People will tell you that about me. Somebody that knows me will tell you, yep, he's an encourager. I like to do it. I like to encourage people. I like to lift people up, especially good people. Especially good people struggling. I like to help people out. Sometimes it doesn't take that much, folks. It's not expensive. It's not expensive. It's not hurtful. To lift somebody up, to say, hey, you look nice today. Well, that's a nice hat. Or, what a nice outfit. Or, you know what? I love your smile. Your smile made me smile today. I wasn't smiling when I left the house, but boy, coming through your grocery line, your smile made me smile. Hey, thanks for doing what you do. Thank you. A sincere thank you. You know what? I'm going to tell you something. In order for you to do a sincere thank you, guess what you have to do? You have to be sincerely thankful. Bottom line. Comes back to gratitude. You better get with some gratitude. If you plant a garden and you do all the things you're supposed to do, that's what God says. You can plant a garden, and we're going to do all the things we're supposed to do. If you do that, and the vegetables and the fruit comes on, don't forget to thank God for that. He's the one that designed that. He's the one that made that happen. You did your work in the field, in the garden. You did your work. That's an analogy really tantamount to liberty and freedom. You know, when you go to Arlington, when you go to these different cemeteries across the country, and you see that somebody fought and died in service to our country, thank God for bringing men and women like that to this country, because we wouldn't be free without it. There's a whole lot of people right now have gone to retreat. They've retreated into their homes. This virus comes, and I can't blame the president. I got to be honest with you. He was in what I call a pickle. He was in a real political pickle here because, gosh, everybody's always accusing him of doing stuff these outside of his expertise. You're a megalomaniac, megalomaniac, blah blah blah. You know all that story. And he's got all these people telling him, oh, no, we have to lock down. Mr. President, we got to shut it down. Everybody's going to die. We're millions of people dying. And a lot of people retreated. This Memorial Day, I want you to remember, bad things do happen, and God will issue his vengeance in his time. Sometimes we're the tool of his vengeance. That's why they're war fighters. That's why there's little buttons on fighter aircraft that have little doors underneath and little pods on the side and little computer programs and all of this that will target something, and poof. Sometimes we're the tool of his vengeance. You just need to understand how that works. But we didn't get it retreating. We didn't get it backing down. We didn't get it huddling in the corner, afraid. And I'm going to tell you what else you need to learn. There is one entity on this planet, not on this planet, but of this planet, creator of this planet, that you can trust implicitly, and that's God. Can't trust government. They're human beings. We can encourage them. We can lead them. We can drive them forward. We can put pressure on them. But they're not perfect, and they are going to make mistakes. One final thing, sometimes scientists are wrong. Sometimes scientists are wrong. They're just flat out wrong. Sometimes scientists get it wrong. God created science. God created science. Not man. God. And he can change it. He's done it many times. He can do it again. This Memorial Day weekend, I want you to think about all of the families that and I've accompanied them. That vehicle drives up, and those military officers in their dress uniforms get out, and they walk to the door. And you know the people inside that house can see out their window, and they know. This will be the worst news I ever receive in my life. Until Valhalla, warfighters. Until Valhalla. Thank you for breathing on the flag of freedom. Long may it wave.
Thank you for joining Dr. Sean today. Please follow Dr. Sean at www.drshawngreener.com and on social media at facebook.com/smgreener, Twitter at The Ninja Pastor, and on Instagram at The Ninja Pastor. If you would like to support Dr. Sean's ministry and send Bibles around the world, don't forget to hit the donate page on drshawngreener.com or go to paypal.me/Dr. Sean Greener. to invest in spreading the Word of God to the world. And please download our free apps to listen to our Spreaker radio show. Thank you again for listening, and don't forget to share.